Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order, please, and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
silence, please. For the record, this is the Board of Elections meeting, Tuesday, May 2nd at 1 p.m. Is there any public input on agenda items only? Okay, seeing none. Number 4, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the March 20th, 2023 Election Board meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Announcements. We'll call the Director of Elections to the podium, please. Lindsay.
I'm just going to go over a couple quick dates here. May 1st, which was yesterday, was the last day to register before the primary. May 9th is the last day to apply for a mail-in or civilian absentee ballot. They must be received in our office by 5 p.m. May 16th is the last day for the County Board of Elections to receive voted mail-in and civilian absentee ballots, and those must be received in our office by 8 p.m. May 16th is the municipal primary, and again, the county employees are all stepping up to keep contracted labor at the lowest cost and ensure machines are delivered and to help scan the mail-in ballots. So thank you for those doing that. May 17th is the first day to register after the primary. We have began transmitting the mail-in and absentee ballots to the voters. We received the ballots in our office on 4/21 and had about 3,500 of them, and we got them out by 4/28. Okay. The machine testing was completed as of Friday, 4/28, so all of the machines are ready for delivery. I had every one of our machines, whether they were spare or the ones we use at the locations, they were all tested. They were all serviced, and they should all be in good working condition. Poll school training is going on as we speak. It started today, and it's going to go till Friday, May 5th. The elections advertisement is going to be posted with the polling places and candidate list in the local newspaper the Saturday before the election, which is May 13th. This isn't on there, but this is just something I kind of wanted to add. We've been getting inquiries from voters in Northumberland in the county, and I just kind of wanted to make it known that when you go to vote, your vote will always remain anonymous. So whether you vote by mail-in, whether you vote in person, your vote is always anonymous, okay? I know some people might think that we give you a number when they go in, that they are assigned a number, and that's just to keep track of how many ballots we're going through that day. Once your ballot drops into our hopper, as we call them, it's anonymous. There's nothing on there that can verify who voted which way. And same thing with the mail-ins. When they come in, they're taken out of their envelopes and they're separated. Okay? Sir? Oh, okay. That's all I have.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you, Lindsay, for you, your staff, and poll workers, volunteers, and employees that are all pitching in to make another election go very, very smoothly. Thank you. Is there any old business to come before the board? And any new business? Any public input? Okay. I recess to the call of the chair.
Take care. Kim.
He doesn't know the meeting. So. He's like.
Do we need to do a pledge or anything, or is that done?
Not the dude roll. She'll just, you could
Let's
dismiss.
just do it.
All right. Dispense with it, or you can do it.
We have a nice crowd here today. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to
Republic for which one nation, God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
silence.
This time, the commissioners would ask for citizens' input on agenda items only. Hearing and seeing none, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the commissioners' public meeting held on Tuesday, April 4th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye. Aye. Motion's carried.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels payrolls as submitted by the Human Resource Office for payroll number 8 in the amount of $729,086.28, and payroll number 9 in the amount of $706,387.36.
Second.
On the question, all in favor, aye. Aye. Motion carries.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $4,633,251.20 from April 1st, 2023 to April 28th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, favor state aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Under announcements, a work session will be held on Tuesday, May 16th, 2023, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room. The next regular public meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 6, 2023, at 1 p.m. in the Public Meeting Room at the Administration Center located at 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. The Prison Board meeting will be held on Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023, at 11 a.m. at the Administration Center located at 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. The Northumberland County Courthouse, Administration Center, and related county facilities will be closed on Monday, May 29, 2023, in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. Northumberland County Area Agency on Aging, in cooperation with the Pennsylvania Department of Aging and the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, is pleased to announce that the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program vouchers are available for Northumberland County residents who meet the guidelines. A motion is needed for the Commissioners to sign the state tax equalization voucher for transfers of real estate for the month of March 2023 as submitted by the Assessment Office.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye. Aye. Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the employee status sheet list of new hires, individuals no longer employed, promotions, demotions, and transfers as item number 1 through 19.
It should be amended to be 1 through 18, as we had one of the new hires decline.
As amended.
Correct.
Moved. For 9.
9.
9.
The question, favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to approve the following reports. These include the coal royalty report as submitted by the county engineer. The Tax Claims Bureau reported a total of $498,448.48 collected in taxes for the period of March 28th to April 24th, 2023. And the monthly fiscal status reports for the month of March 2023 as submitted by the Weatherization Department and listed in the public meeting agenda.
Second.
Question? Aye. Aye. Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the renewal of an agreement with Ursula Q. Kessler to provide title search services to the Tax Claims Bureau of Northumberland County.
Second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried.
A motion is needed to approve the renewal of an agreement with Andrea L. Pencil to provide title search services to the Tax Claims Bureau of Northumberland County.
Moved.
Second.
On the question. Questions? First state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A motion is needed to ratify the approval for Chief Clerk Nathan Savage to sign documents to participate in the new national opioid settlements, Teva, Allergan, CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the execution of the renewal of maintenance agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Modern Group Power Systems for the maintenance of generators located at the Northumberland County South Campus located in Cole Township, Pennsylvania.
Moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion is needed to ratify the execution of the contract with Everbridge for mass notification on behalf of the Northumberland County Department of Public Safety.
Moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to ratify the acceptance of the resignation of Ronald Tanney from the Northumberland County Authority, PA, effective 3/8/2023.
Moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to ratify the execution of the community notice letter to Northumberland County municipal officials to apply for the federal fiscal year 2023 Community Development Block Grant CDBG program.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A motion is needed to ratify the execution of an amendment to the agreement with Palmetto Posting Incorporated, increasing from $25 per posting to $30 per posting, with personal service remaining at $30 per visit, on behalf of Northumberland County Tax Claims Bureau, effective April 25th, 2023.
Moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion is needed to approve the execution of a contract with Penn Fire Protection, Inc. for inspections and testing of fire sprinkler systems located at the Northumberland County Prison and Prison Administration Building.
Moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye. Motion carried.
Motion is needed to approve the following proclamations and awards, which include the Older Americans Month Proclamation, National Correctional Officers and Employees Week, and Emergency Medical Services Week.
Moved.
Second.
You want me to?
The question, we're going to approve these, and then we're going to have Nathan read each one of the proclamations. So all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
So we'll go in order. The Older Americans Month 2023, whereas Northumberland County includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their time, wisdom, and experience to our community, and whereas communities benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds have the opportunity to participate and live independently, and whereas Northumberland County recognizes the need to create a community that offers the services and supports older adults may need to make choices about how they age, and whereas Northumberland County can work to build an even better community for our older residents by not limiting our thinking about aging, exploring and combating stereotypes, emphasizing the many positive aspects of aging, inspiring older adults to push past their traditional boundaries, and embracing our community's diversity. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners of Northumberland County, do hereby proclaim May 2023 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to celebrate our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and accept the challenge of flexible thinking around aging.
This proclamation does affect some of the people here today. I won't point them out, but Mr. Klebon is an older American, and some of the people in the back row.
You know, on behalf of Kim and I, Commissioner Best, we would like to thank you for your service to the citizens of this county, for all you do at your age. It's remarkable.
If you wait till after the meeting, you can have a picture with us.
We'll help you out of your chair.
I'm
We'll
going
help
to be
you.
quiet from now on,
We'll,
Nathan.
we'll help you out of your chair if you have trouble. So.
Okay, so moving to National Correctional Officers, whereas in 1984, President Ronald Reagan signed Proclamation number 5187, creating National Correctional Officers Week, which is recognized the first full week in May to honor the work of correctional officers and correctional personnel nationwide. And whereas in 1996, Congress officially changed the name of the week to National Correctional Officers and Employees Week, and whereas National Correctional Officers and Employees Week is an ideal time to recognize and celebrate correctional professionals for their devotion, bravery, and ongoing commitment to being the change that they would like to see in the world. Now therefore be it proclaimed on behalf of the citizens of Northumberland County, the Board of Commissioners is pleased to join with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in proclaiming the week of May 7th through May 13th, 2023 as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. And the final is Emergency Medical Services Week, whereas emergency medical services are a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the emergency medical services system has grown to fill a gap, becoming the national healthcare safety net by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services systems consist of emergency medical responders, emergency medical technicians, advanced emergency medical technicians, paramedics, pre-hospital registered nurses, pre-hospital physician extenders, pre-hospital physicians, dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or voluntary, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, we, the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 21st through May 27th, 2023, as Emergency Medical Services Week with the EMS Strong theme. EMS Week, Rising to the Challenge, and we encourage the residents and visitors to Northumberland County, PA, to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, attendance, and activities.
Very good, Nathan. Now are you okay?
Motion is needed to award the bids for the leasing of 2 tracts of farmland in Northumberland County to Robert C. Snyder Farms for the Bacon site and Strauss Farms for the Four Seasons site as recommended by Northumberland County Engineer Chuck Hopta Jr.
Moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye. Aye. Motion carried.
A motion is needed to ratify the authorization for the chairperson to execute a consent for right of entry to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection for access to certain real property located in Cole Township for reclamation work.
So moved.
Second.
Question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A motion is needed to ratify the approval for the Northumberland County Commissioners to execute an agreement with Global Sector Service for security services on behalf of the Northumberland County Prison.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshops, seminars, as in accordance with the county's Personnel Manual Travel Reimbursement Policy as listed A through D in the public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the execution of a cooperation agreement between Northumberland County and PP&L Sustainable Energy Fund as the third-party administrator of the Property Assessed Clean Energy Program, also known as CPACE.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Solicitors report, Mr. Garrigan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to adopt Resolution R15-23, Northumberland County Commissioners Resolution establishing a Property Assessed Clean Energy Program, CPACE, with PP&L Sustained Energy Fund as third-party administrator.
Moved.
Second.
The question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R16-23, agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the named service providers as listed, numbers 1 through 8. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as principals in their corporation or on their board of directors, with the exception of contracts with CSO. Controller Grayson and District Attorney Matalevich are members of the CSO board.
Moved.
Second.
The question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
This time, we're going to ask for any old business. And at the request of the chairman, we're going to switch number 28 and public input. So at this time, we'll ask for any public input. And I think that's okay.
Stan.
Motion 20.
Mike, do you want to?
It's a Bureau of Abandoned Mines Reclamation Act. So they're going to go in and they need authorization from the landowner to go in and reclaim abandoned mines and do cleanup.
Afternoon. My name is Brian Betts. I'm a local resident of Sunbury, also in Northumberland County, and I just thought it'd be attentive and interesting because with every election that goes on and the hearsay of taxes and what it really is and cost to pay, I know everybody can do this, but not everybody can cross-reference this with other communities in the area, but I can because I'm a landlord in both Sunbury, I'm a landlord in Selinsgrove. So just for the record, what I'd like to just explain, and I have this documented, I put it on spreadsheets every year for all my properties on the cost of accounting, dealing with taxes, both real estate and school. But since 1920, that was the last increase that I showed for within Northumberland County at a 1% for the spring taxes. From that point on, so 2020 set the base, 2021 was still the same, no increase for the spring taxes. 2022, still the same, no taxes. 2023, still the same and no taxes. Now what's interesting is if I go to you and tell you, your sister neighborhood town called Selinsgrove, so in 2020, they were both the same. They both had a 1% increase in that year. In the 21, the increase for the county was 1.2%. The next year following was 2.3%. 2023, this is 3.3%. So when you look at the surrounding areas and you see, now I've only done that for Selinsgrove, but I'd be willing to bet that the other areas are the same, and I just wanted to put this out for the record so other people know this. I just literally took the time to look at it and realize the difference and thought it was important for everybody else to see during their decision-making processes for this year's elections. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your input. I just to bring further out on that, you're correct. This board right here, Commissioner Best, Mr. Klebon, and myself, have not increased taxes the last 3 years. And before that, when Commissioner Best and myself were on the board, there was an increase the 2 years before that of only a 0.6 mil increase, which is, compared to other counties around here, I think Commissioner Best and myself really worked hard, and Mr. Klebon, and the reason to not do that, I think that's one of our main objectives, because we know the county being mostly senior citizens, we are very tight on our budgets.
So I just wanted to add, and I wanted to thank all the commissioners for making sure that it was feasible, not just for homeowners, but also for the people that live in this community that are already struggling. So I just wanted to thank you for that and clarify that. My husband and I are very grateful because we do own a lot of rentals over here in Selinsgrove, and it helps us out tremendously. So
We really appreciate your input. Is there anyone else who has any citizen input? Because I have a couple things I would like to bring up, mostly because there's some things being said out in the public, and because it's being said about our administration, and what I mean is our administration that is happening right now, I think I want to address it, and I think the other commissioners want to address it, because one of the things being said is that our human service departments are disasters. Let me tell you, we keep a great communications with our human service departments. They're coming in usually at least 2 times a month, and we visit them regularly, and we are very supportive of them. We know how hard they work, but maybe the public doesn't know, and maybe that's our fault. So what I did today is I have asked our 3 human service people, directors, to come in and maybe give a little short speech on all the good they do, because those 3 positions, drug and alcohol department, children and youth, area aging, veterans, we have very, very, very dedicated people who work very hard. And it doesn't only offend them when people say negative things about them, it offends us 3. Because we continually have tried the last 3.5 years to work very hard, and we appreciate these people. And for anyone to be downgrading them is wrong. So what I would like to do is if it's okay, is to have Olivia, you want to come up and give a little talk on our area aging and veterans?
Before Olivia speaks, can I just add to what you just said?
Yep.
I want to point out something that gets lost during election years, and as I'm not a candidate, I feel like, maybe I'll be heard because I don't have skin in the game, as they say, okay? And I've been with this county for 20 years. What people do not understand is the majority of what a commissioner's board does is make sure, their number one authority, that this human services, these departments, that's our mandate from the state, okay? That we run it efficiently, that we hire people we can trust, because especially in Northumberland County, our human services are a great need. That's one thing I want to say. So when there are people out there running campaign spins and talking about things like shiny objects, ask them about human services and see what they know, or rather find out what they don't. Ask them to name them. Ask them what these services do for people. And here's another thing I want to add. These folks that run these departments, they are some of the best in the state. I kid you not. They receive accolades from the state for what they do. And these people back here, they work for less money in this county than they would anywhere else. They have opportunities beyond here, but they stay because they're dedicated. They don't stay because they're getting the highest salary. They don't stay because we've given them a lot of perks. And sometimes there's painful conversations about why we just don't have the money to do that, okay? And some of what Mr. Betts was saying, we don't have the money. But I just want people to understand what they give up to stay here and do what they do, the best in the state. So I want to say thank you. As I exit here, I want people to understand that that is very important because it impacts all of our lives. And they're answering the call to so many needs, to our elderly, to our children, to people that have behavioral and emotional disabilities. I mean, can you imagine? These directors are also taking on their own caseloads. Before, it used to be in Northumberland County, you hired more staff because they were political thank you jobs that you doled out. These folks, they're working it. They're working their own caseload. And I mean hours that you would not believe. And because their salary, they don't get overtime. So I just want people to understand how important this is. And now I'll let you speak. I'm sorry, but I had to say that. Yeah.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. My name is Olivia Sims. I am the Administrator for Aging and Veterans Affairs. I have been the Administrator for only 3 short months, but I have been with the wonderful agency for over 13 years. I started at the bottom as an Aging Care Manager, worked my way up as a Supervisor, and now I'm the Administrator. So we just recently celebrated 51 years of providing services to Northumberland County. So I just want to explain a little bit of what has happened over the last year. Over the last year, we have taken and investigated 563 report of needs through protective services. We have taken and discussed 774 referrals on our front lines. We have completed 650 level of care assessments for waiver programs, personal care home, and nursing home placements. As of yesterday, we are actively working with 1,254 older adults in Northumberland County. For these older adults, we have yearly assessments, phone calls, and home visits to complete on top of those other numbers that I just gave you. For the month of March, the AAA has provided 192 older adults with personal emergency response systems, 76 older adults with 785 hours of personal care assistance, 363 older adults with 10,675 home-delivered meals, 380 older adults with 599 hours of care-managed hours. We have managed 284 memberships at the adult community centers. For the month of April alone, at the Herndon Adult Community Center, the center operator had 700 visits throughout the entire month from all of her members. We have consistently been in the top 6 counties across the state for applications submitted for Veterans Affairs related services. Oftentimes, we're in the top 2 counties. During Christmas time, we provided Christmas gifts to over 40 seniors through our Santa to a Senior program. We also provided Christmas gifts and a complete Christmas meal to 38 grandchildren on our Grandparents' Older Relative Caregiver program. We provided one-time heating assistance, heaters, and fans. We're able to provide financial assistance to veterans in crisis. But most importantly, we help those who are at a loss, who don't know where to turn. We're a very tight-knit family at the Aging Office in Veterans Affairs. If there's ever a personnel issue in the office, we have staff that step up immediately and we cover each other every single time. And I think I can speak for the other sister agencies here. We often share joint consumers, older adults, clients, participants, whatever we might call them. But we're all here for the same reason, to better their outcomes. And there has never been a time where the Aging Office in Veterans Affairs has reached out to behavioral health, ID, children and youth, and we have never been turned away. We are given an immediate caseworker, we make home visits together, we figure out a solution to help out the client. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and maybe that's one thing we need to do more often, have you come up and let us know what's happening with area aging and veterans, because we know, but the people out there don't know, and now we have a voice letting them know, Justin, right? Let's have our next would be children and youth. Leslie?
Leslie Ward. I again am like Olivia. I've only been the administrator at Children and Youth for the last 3 months, but I've worked for the agency for 9 years, kind of the same way. I was a caseworker, I became a supervisor, a director, and now I'm the administrator. I will tell you that what I do is not a job. It's my passion, it's where I belong. And that is what most of my staff that work for me also believe. We're not in it to get rich. We're not in it for anything but to make sure that the kids of Northumberland County are kept safe. And as Commissioner Chickatino was telling you, we have accolades for our departments, and I will tell you the one that, there's a lot that I'm proud of, but the one is about 3 years ago, we were chosen to be an FEI county, which is the Family Engagement Initiative. Not every county in the state gets to be chosen. We were chosen because of the work we had done and to help us make things better. It's part of the court system. And with that, I'd like to explain, I think, some misinformation that's being put out there. And I'm going to speak to kids in care. The larger the number of kids in care, not a good thing. We want as few of children in care that we can. And that is what we did in the last 3 years. We went from 270 children in care down to 65. And how did we do that? Because I have dedicated staff that took on a lot of extra hours. We did a lot of family finding. And I will also tell you, as part of that number going down, we have a 51% rate of these children going with kin. Doesn't necessarily have to be a biological family. They can be teachers, coaches, anybody that is important to these children have stepped up, and my workers and my staff have done an amazing job in searching these people out, meeting with the families, finding out from these children who's important to them. So I just wanted to make sure that that was understood. 65 kids in care is an amazing number, so that's a good thing. The great things, I guess, that we do, I, with Olivia, unfortunately, in the month of April, broke a record for referrals, which not records you want to break, but I had between 520 and 540 referrals that came in just in 1 month. That means my workers went out to address and make sure that every referral, the children in the home were safe, and if they were not, then we responded in whatever way that we needed to. I will let you know I have one of the most amazing staffs. They give up, they're working countless hours, overtime. Some of them work till 8:30 or 9 o'clock every night. They give up time away from their own families, away from their own children, to make sure the children of this county are kept safe, and I am so very proud of them. The other thing that I want to point out is, yes, children's safety is our #1 priority, but we also want to work with the community and the parents also. And because of that, we have actually brought a lot of services in-home. We have Family Treatment Court, which works with parents with substance use. We have our family groups, which is bringing families together and people that are important to them to come up with a plan on how to keep those children safe, because they know their families better than we do. We have our IL program, which is our independent living, which affords kids 14 and older that are in care that normally don't have a lot. They can earn a laptop. They get paid to go to school, to college. We help with tuition. We have a housing program, which is part of our Family Engagement Center, which was just built in the last year, or came in the last year. Family Engagement Center is basically, again, allowing people from the community and families to come together in a place that we help them with food. We have parenting classes. We have showers. We have a washer and dryer. We have cooking. We have all kinds of things that can bring the community together. And trying to think independently. Just want to make sure I hit all my ones. I think, yeah. So anyway, we have a housing grant that also has a rental assistance program in it. And we now are able to keep families together because we're able to put them up in hotels for emergencies that happen. We're also able to help families get housing or stay in their housing by this program. And part of that program, we pay utilities, gas bills, especially this year has been very hard on our families with all the oil and gas prices going up. We have paid a lot of those bills to keep families in their home. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you for you, Leslie.
Thank you, Leslie.
And last, Carmine from BHIDS.
I have a very loud voice, so I'm going to stay away from the microphone because it carries. So since they already started with, I'm here at the county almost 29 years. I'm the administrator for 7.5. I've seen it all. I've done it all in BHIDS. For those that don't know what BHIDS encompasses, it's mental health, drug and alcohol, early intervention, and also we do adult services programs. I'll start with mental health. I'm not going to get into all the different programs. However, we serve over 2,500 of the individuals of this county and services in all of our departments. That does not count our crisis numbers. That does not count all the money and opportunities we offer people in our adult services. Adult services covers ERAP program. You probably all heard of that. Maybe you haven't. That's $12 million we received from the government through ARPA funds to help people support themselves in the community with rent, housing, lights, utilities, all of that stuff. We've already expended over $9 million of that. We also, in adult services, do food for folks, and all of that's done through a provider, CSO, Central Susquehanna Opportunities. We also do, I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of what we do, mental health. We serve a lot of individuals with case management and other services. We have providers that do these services for those individuals. ID, Intellectual Developmental Services. That is formerly our MR program. We serve over 500 people with a waiver, not counting the base funded folks. And also, not least, our early intervention program. That are children from birth to 3. We serve over 300 of those individuals, children, every year before they get sent to the CSIU for 2 years and then back into our ID program. It was short and sweet. I appreciate all the commissioners. They've always lent an ear, and Nathan, of course. And as the other 2 ladies said, we do work well together, and it's wonderful to work here, or I wouldn't be here still. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carmine. You know, Carmine, I've been in a lot of meetings with you, and this is the shortest time you've ever spoken. So, thank you. And he is, by the way, if you need a good pizza recipe, he's a fantastic pizza maker. But I would just like to say, for someone to call our departments a disaster, they should be ashamed of themselves. After hearing all this, and we have many other departments, I have nothing but the utmost respect and gratitude for everyone here in this county, especially during the COVID pandemic back in 2020 and 2021, and I guess there's still remnants of the COVID. It's not as bad, but we all had to pull together and be a team to get through that. And so I have nothing but the utmost respect. And the other thing I'd like to make sure people are aware of, that, and it goes with voting, when you vote, no one can tell who you voted for. I heard some report that they could find out who you voted for. That is totally false. That's a secret ballot. When you vote, only you know who you voted for, unless you go tell somebody. But so if you hear that, that is a total lie and fallacy. Okay? Thank you.
I just want to say one more thing, that the last 4 years, was everybody works. I am. Over to Sealands.
We appreciate that, and we appreciate our human service departments. And, everybody sitting here or will see the paper, well, they didn't mention the prison. Well, we're going to mention the prison tomorrow during our prison board meeting, and we're going to have our warden say about all the good things that are happening up there. So we're not skipping something. One other thing I would like to address, because, again, it affects our administration, what we've done here the last 3 years. And where this comes from is beyond me, but we have three elected officials up here that are commissioners, but according to our budget, we are not the only ones that oversee our budget. We have Chris Grayson, who's our controller, who is an elected official, who does not answer to us, and Sandy, Brown, who is our treasurer. So this budget is continually being monitored all the time. And for someone outside of saying our administration is $6 million in debt and is hiding money is an outright lie. We are not in any debt. In fact, we have one of the best fund balances we have had for years here. We have not raised taxes, and with the way we're managing money right now in the county, we don't plan on raising taxes next year or maybe after that. But those are things that we watch all the time. I'm on the phone with Chris Grayson almost every day, sometimes weekends. We are watching every penny that goes through here. Anyone to make claims that we are hiding money or we are are $6 million in the hole. This isn't us. These people watch that. And if that would happen, I would hope they go out and say to the public, hey, there's money not being used right. We work together to make sure, as Mr. Betts says, we can keep our taxes down, how we can, work for the people in this county, and for there to be lies out there about those things. And listen, if they're true, come and show us the evidence, because our budget is opened all the time for anybody to look at. We are not hiding anything. I think our commissioners agree, and if anyone has any questions with Chris or Sandy at any time, you can ask. Because again, they're not under us; they're elected by themselves, and they'll tell you how hard we do work to keep this budget the way it is. So, listen, whatever and I didn't want to bring this up because of an election thing. It's a administration thing. This administration is not doing anything with hiding money. This administration is not $6 million in the hole. I guarantee that. You can come in, anybody, and look at our books and look at whatever you need to, but that is not a true statement. Okay? Is there any questions? All right, I really appreciate everybody coming. I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate our Human Services, and I also appreciate our commissioners, because we work very hard. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.